What's up, y'all? It's Shufel, and we are here today. We're going to talk about some video or some content TM in this video, and these are changes I would make to Darkest Dungeon 1. There are a lot of people that say, Shuff, what would you change in this game since you played it so much? Well, here it is. I spent like 2 days going through the characters and the regions and thinking about stuff that I've talked about, things that I've heard, things that I've read from other people. And this is what I came up with. It's about 3.5 pages of notes. So that's pretty cool. And you can't see the notes, so I'm not going to spoil anything with the notes. However, this video itself does have spoilers. I will talk about everything. I will talk about the bosses, the end game, stuff like that, because I want it to be very comprehensive. Hopefully it doesn't take an hour and a half. It might. Of course, before we get started, make sure that if you want to follow on Twitch, that'd be awesome. Join Discord, support on Patreon, all that awesome stuff in the box below. Thank you to everyone that already does. You're amazing. There's cat hair trying to get into my water glass, and I'm trying to stop it. It is a constant battle of cats to fight against cat hair. Okay, so I was going to go off on a tangent talking about how I watched a video of a cat getting groomed, and it made me want to groom my cats because my girlfriend suggested it. Alright, so we're starting with classes. We're just going to go through the class list, even Musketeer, for like one thing. You can probably guess what that is. So we're going to start with Abomination. Open this in a new tab. So you can always come back. What's up, Abomination? So, first thing I would do is for the skills, we're going to go like just down the list of stuff here. The Abomination skills, I would change the transform stress from 8 down to 4. The reason is it's kind of a high price to pay for some kind of power boost, and like Abomination's already having to deal with his own stress after that, and if you don't bring Jester, for instance, or Crusader to stress heal the team, especially Abomination, he has to spend several extra turns at some point spamming Absolution. So that means it's a huge tempo loss for this character. It's just not in that same battle. It's like a tempo loss later. And that's cool in the fact that you have to like change or you have to like weigh the cost and benefits and stuff like that, but I think it's too strong, and that makes it also in Torchless you just don't press this button because it's so damaging. Manacles, we're going to increase the stun chance by 10%. This is to balance out the nerf to broken key we're going to hand out, because I think this was changed. Oh, it's over here. I think this was changed when Color Madness came out. The rest of the skills I don't think I have a huge issue with. I'm going to look. No. Okay, so we're going to scroll down. You're going to see my mouse disappear over and over. The trinkets, they're all okay, even the Lock of Patience. The Padlock of Transference, I probably buffed the effect on this, I just don't know to how much. The Crimson Quartet's fine. The Broken Key is what we have to talk about. So, 35 stun skill, jeez Louise, that's way too high. So this is just powerful, and the 10 stress doesn't matter because you're not going Abomination, you're not transforming, you're just hitting Manacles every turn. So I would lower the accuracy down to 10, and probably the stun skill to 15. And Manacles is still kind of weak at that point, but you get too much value from this for like how cheap it is, and I don't like it that much. Anti, I'm just gonna not open the tab. Anti gets one thing, and I want the heal to be usable from everywhere. This way you can just put her up front if you need to. She can already use Flash Powder, Heal, Protect Me, and Vapors and Stab from up front, and get back or get down. So you just lose Dodge Vapors, that's fine. I don't know. I just wish you could heal from up front, because frontline healers are a little harder to find. You have like Crusader, Flagellant, and Occultist, and then everyone else can, all healers can function in the back, so it'd be nice to have more flexibility in that regard. Okay. Arbalest has a lot of changes. So Arbalest, what do we have here? So first thing I would do is I would change her top end damage to 8 to 16. So this just bumps her up like a point at each bracket, pretty much. And I just want her to be able to do more damage. The Suppressing Fire, this only lasts 2 turns for the debuff, which is stupid. This should last 3. The Mark, I would like it to be usable from everywhere, to hit everything. That'd be nice. I'd like the debuff change. I don't think the minus dodge really matters. I mean, it's okay, but, it's Arbalest. I want her to have some more utility, so I would maybe change the debuff to crits received. Not unlike the Bellow debuff, but I think it'd be nice if Arb just gave, whoever she targeted, crits received. That'd be pretty cool. Bola, Probably just lower the damage penalty and up the knockback a little bit, because it's just bad as is. Blind Fire. Okay, this moves you back. This is what I had. So instead of the bonus to speed, which is interesting, you can do some plays with this, but it's not... Like, you think you can make plays, and you can, but they're not amazing plays, so it's not as good as it could be. So I would just change this to be the move back move. People said make Bola the move back move, but I don't think so. Like, I would rather this lower speed instead of knocking back, for instance, because the knockback's really awkward, or maybe even stun. I think a cleave frontline stun, like a second one, like Yop, would be a little dangerous. So I think just having this slow speed would be pretty nice. Bandage, the only change I would make is that it could cure bleed. It doesn't really make sense to have your medic in the front line, so that's why I don't think you should be able to use it up there. And Flare, I think you should be able to always have guaranteed stress recovery. Oh, do we have her trinkets too? Arb had a lot of changes. Yeah. Okay. The next one is kind of a small change. I would swap the name of Triage in Field Dressing. The reason is Triage in a medical scenario is you pick the person that needs the most help and you help them. So Triage being heal the entire party for the same amount is kind of not what Triage should be. Field Dressing is probably what Triage should have been. They're bleeding out, you're going to heal them, you're trying to heal them, you pick the one person that needs it. So I think these names should be switched. I think the rest of this is fine. Be nice if Marching Plan buffed the entire group for 2 speed. You probably have to make it 4 points, but I didn't have that written down. Also, Field Dressing, our new Triage, it would have no chance to fail. It would just be probably this, and not the extra 50% HP, because it can just overheal really hard. Or not overheal, but it can heal 85% randomly, which is pretty cool. But it can also fail and miss both these, which is pretty stupid. So I'd rather it just flat 35%. 2 points, you can probably up this to 3 or lower the heal amount. For trinkets, the Wrathful Bandana, her trinkets are okay. Bullseye Bandana is kind of eh. But the Wrathful, actually the 5 crit's nice, but anyway. The Wrathful Bandana, I would just lower this penalty to 25. It's a little too much to justify for Arb because she runs out of targets. Since she can't really hit rank 1 with anything besides Bola and Blind Fire, which aren't that good, as is, it would be nice if her healing skills weren't penalized because she is going to be healing for the rest of the fight. So you spend turns 1 and 2 shooting stuff, turns 3, 4, 5, you're healing. So it'd be nice if that was different. Actually, all these changes apply to Musketeer also, if you couldn't tell. The Bedtime Story, I wish this wasn't accuracy against marked, because Arbalest, her biggest strength is her base accuracy, so it'd be nice if this was just like flat damage or something. Or just raise the crit and then just take this away entirely. I don't know. Keen bolts I think are fine. Do I have any other changes? No. Okay. Yeah, going fast as I was hoping so far, it feels like. So we're going to spend a lot of time in classes, and then after we get through the classes, the other changes are going to go probably fast. So Bounty Hunter, I don't think we have to change much on Bounty Hunter. Come hither mark, last 3 turns. Caltrops can target anything instead of just like these two, because like how you use Caltrops, you just, you're supposed to like lay them out ahead of time so people run on them, or just throw them into like, Giant Brawl, something like that. So it would be nice if this could hit the front line, because this would just cement it as a boss killing move. And it'd be nice to have a boss killing move that isn't Mark, because right now Mark is like the premier boss killer, but it'd be nice if Bounty Hunter had a different way to help kill bosses for other people in the team that couldn't take advantage of the Mark synergy. So there you go. I don't think we're changing the camp skills. Oh, we are. So this is how we do it. This should be 3 points. Like that's really powerful, just as is. So slight nerf, but maybe you don't want that. Wounding Helmet, I would take the stun penalty off of this. Like, this move is such a trap, because this is a nice damage bonus, but you basically just lose control Bounty Hunter, which is his best thing that he can be doing. The damage is nice, but the control aspect is very powerful for this class. And then in that same idea, how about we give Bounty Hunter a frickin' stun trinket? This dude has 2 stuns. They're both really good. No other character in the game besides PD has 2 stuns in her kit, and PD gets 2 stun trinkets. She's hogging all of them. So I think Bounty Hunter needs some form of stun trinket that's not a penalty, because that's pretty silly. Like, he hits it nowhere. It would have been good here. Honestly, this thing is okay. On its own, it probably would have been best to just slap like 20% stun chance in there. It'd be very powerful, but that's probably the best spot for it. Crusader. I don't think Crusader gets many. No. So Crusader, I think he's pretty strong, like balanced as he is now. I would change Zealous to be a melee move. Where is it? Range. So it's pretty stupid as a range move. And I'd probably lower the damage penalty to 30. Just to give it a little more oomph, because it's always hitting frontline enemies that I prot. But the reason it should be melee is because the rest of his kit is melee, even Holy Lance. So I'm not going to put Ancestor's Musket Ball on just to make this stronger. That's not good. That's stupid. So I would rather this be melee. Gets more usability, synergy. Doesn't even have bonus damage against Unholy, which is odd. Trinkets. Are we changing any of the trinkets? Yes. Holy Orders. What do I put for this? So I would up this to, instead of stress resist, this would be stress gained. This is because you want to try and virtue faster, and then he can heal his own stress pretty easily between Inspiring Cry and camp skills. So you'd like to push up into virtue, and then if you don't get it, reset and then farm it, and then take these off. This makes no sense. You get Deathblow resist, and then it's easier to die. And dots are like probably the thing that kill people the most often in this game, because it's pretty easy to save someone from repeated direct damage, but it's the fact when you get hit to Death's Door with bleed on top of you, that's when you die. So it'd be nice if that went away. I think the rest of this stuff is pretty good. Flage. Flage is interesting because I feel like he's probably an S tier unit now. So sneak peek at the second or the final tier list video. But he also has some quality of life things that'd be nice. And even then, he'd probably still be a little busted. So the first one is I would like the Reclaim Bleed to show up in the frickin' tooltip. It doesn't tell you what the base chance is in-game, and it'd be very nice to see it and know what it is so you can plan around it. Exsanguinate, I give it either 10 more accuracy, or it heals on miss, or it gives no debuffs on miss, because missing Exsang is awful. Like, it's already risky enough being low health, and then you get all of these debuffs, none of the benefits, and you also lose one charge of it. So I would like it if it was less punishing for missing, because his other moves already have really good accuracy, so you don't want to stack more. Like, you just almost don't need to. Suffer, probably one of the worst moves in the game. Give it back the prot that it used to have. Why the hell not? Just why not? Give Flage a different archetype. That's all I want. Because right now he has bleed, he has like healing. It'd be nice if he had like other support ability. Like, I would like to use these 4 moves as a loadout, not do damage. I think that'd be very fun. So maybe this needs prot. It'd probably still be busted. Who knows? But let's try it. So as a quality of life thing for Flage as well, I'd like it if his death blow chance was higher than it is. He already has a 6% bonus, I believe, compared to everyone else who starts at 67. I'd like it if he was up to like maybe 75 or 77 even, just to cement the martyr role in the team. Because he will die eventually. You can't just leave him at 0. He will low roll and die. So why not make it easier for him to live? Alright, looking at his trinkets. Resurrection's Collar, I would like it if this somehow affected the Reclaim. It doesn't. Only Healing Receiver affects Reclaim. So, like, the intended purpose of this looks like it's supposed to be for Reclaim, because it lowers the bleed chance against him and increases healing output. But it doesn't affect Reclaim. Instead, it affects Exsanguinate, which you're weakening by penalizing it, and then it affects Redeem. So do you want a trinket slot to affect Redeem when you can just use Chirurgeon's or Junia's Head or something like that and not deal with this? Yeah, this thing is actually really bad just because it doesn't affect Reclaim. So it'd be nice if it did something to affect it. Got more trinkets? Yes. So Eternity Collar, the changes I would make to this are interesting, I guess. They might be overpowered, who knows, but I would give it 25% bonus damage at 100 stress, 5% crit at 100 stress, and 10% prot at Death's Door. Because if he's at Death's Door, it'd be nice if he had the extra 10% prot, because having that would mean he doesn't necessarily die to the random chip damage, like getting hit for 1 damage from a spitting pig, for instance, at Death's Door, that can kill you. Same with like Cultist Witch. So having 10 prot to shave off that 1 damage so we can actually not die to that stuff would be pretty interesting. And you only get it at Death's Door, so it just gets even stronger. Plus, it's Eternity's Caller. When I hear the name Eternity Caller, I'm trying to put this on because I want this dude to live forever. And this does not help him live forever. It's unfortunate. A CC set. Do I have anything for this? I don't. Oh, I messed up here. So CC set, the trinkets individually are okay, but I would like it if the set bonus was just something else. Like the move resist, okay, the bleed stuff, thank you loud car, is whatever. I mean, the bleed chance is amazing. Minus bleed you can do stuff with. But this here, it needs a different set bonus. Like maybe bleed and blight resist. Well, actually I have minus bleed here. So maybe blight resist or debuff resist or prot, for instance. There are a lot of things you could do here that's not just death blow, because death blow is pretty weak and he already gets it from like other stuff. So I don't know. The acidic husk ichor, what did I change with this? Bonus healing at 40%. So you already cut your HP and you know it's dangerous enough, so why not increase the healing at 40%? Just because you really want to yo-yo his HP. I think that's the intended purpose of this. So having the ability to consistently get strong heals at low HP to keep doing it is nice. And this is a Farmstead trinket anyway. So if you're under 40% HP, you only have a very limited amount of your good skills. So you can't be throwing them out every time you're low HP. So you still have to think on what you're doing. I think that's it for Flag. Grave Robber. Okay, first thing I would do is, outside of the flashing daggers change that we're going to propose, I would put her back to, or I'd put her up to 8 to 16 damage, because 7 to 14 is just weak. And then we're going to balance stuff out to compensate. So pick to the face, take the damage penalty off, maybe even hit rank 3, but definitely take the damage penalty off. Lunge, lower the damage bonus to 25. Yes, I am nerfing my favorite character, just because Lunge, the reason Lunge is so powerful is because, or so appealing, is because it's so strong in terms of benefits and crit and damage, and all of her other stuff is actually just very weak compared to it. So we lower this a little bit, buff everything else, make other builds appealing. Sorry about that, we had dogs, but yes, so more dogs. Yeah, so lower this, buff everything else. Flashing daggers, I've seen some interesting changes. I think Pepper suggested letting this target 2 things that you want. So just pick like, you know, 1 and 4 or 3 and 4 or 2 and 4, for instance. Just, it's supposed to be like a very skillful fan of like knife throwing, for instance. So make it reflect that, you know, just having this weird mid-range cleave that has bleed resist down, like it just doesn't, what the hell is this? This move just, who is this for? The only immediate synergy is Jester and like Houndmaster. Like Flagellant can't even hit these 2 ranks with the same move, so it's really just 2 characters that benefit from this. And I don't like it. Like you can use Open Vein, Flagellant, they all lower bleed resist. Like why just give this something else? Or why not give this something else? The other change, which you have to keep her damage at 7 to 14 for this, is you can lower the damage, or you could raise the damage penalty to 66%. It hits 1 target. She gets an immediate action that can't be flashing daggers. So think of it like she gets an extra turn, like an extra thing to do each turn, which is just throw a flashing dagger. That increases her damage output, takes pressure off Lunge to perform. So she can just throw something, chip something out, chip something out with a little bit of damage if it's like 1 HP, 2 HP. And then she gets to do something else and have other stuff going on. It might be broken, who knows, but I think it'd be fun, and it'll give her something to do because, like, really, she just has Lunge. That's it. She has Stealth, but she just has Lunge. I got a comment on a video the other day where someone asked if she should have her post, and I don't think so because she has Shadow Fade, but maybe that's an interesting idea too. Throw Dagger, take the damage penalty off, raise the accuracy by 5, and get rid of this buff. Like, this buff is stupid. You are not going to Throw Dagger to buff like the rest of her stuff. Like, why? Poison Dart doesn't need it. Stacking accuracy on this move doesn't need it. You have to hit them to get it. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. I don't like it at all. So give this no buff. Just raise the damage. Maybe hit rank 1. I don't know. That's where I'm going with it. Let's see. Yeah. Toxin. So this is an interesting move. You can do some sweeping change to this if you really want, but the first thing I would just do and go from there is I would just let this heal like 5 HP. Once a battle, heal 5 HP, get a huge buff, get rid of Blight and Bleed. The reason Toxin is bad is because it's such a massive amount of tempo loss on your primary damage dealer. Because if you're taking Grave Robber, she probably is your primary damage dealer. You can justify Shadow Fade because it almost doubles her damage. So you don't lose that much tempo. You just like shift where you're getting damage to the next turn, and you're trying to plan out ahead of it. So that's why you can justify Shadow Fade. It's really hard to justify this. It just doesn't do anything. And if she's already low HP near death's door at death's door and she doesn't die immediately, drinking this and having like 9 dodge, or what's this get up to? 13? Like, what's that going to do? You're at death's door. I think you already get a dodge penalty at death's door. It just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. So it needs to do something else. Maybe you can stealth her. That'd be cool. Drink this, heal for 5, cure all your stuff, stealth. I like that. I like that a lot. It's only once a battle too, so it's not broken. Her camp skills are actually amazing, so we're not changing anything else. Yeah, we're done with Grave Robber. Hellion. I thought about raising her speed, but the more I play her, the more busted this character's starting to feel, so I don't think you have to actually raise her speed at all. Only one change to Hellion. I would remove the penalty on breakthrough. You're already having to use a subpar move to fix your positioning with breakthrough if you're out of position, and you don't want to be using this move, so why give it a damage penalty? So if Hellion gets knocked out of position, there are many times I would rather just click move and move her than hit breakthrough, just because I don't want this damage and speed penalty. It's kind of weird. Like, how is she losing damage and speed by charging? You think she'd be going faster. But that's it for her. The rest of her stuff's really good. Even her low-level trinkets, they're interesting, but, you know, they're solid. Yeah, really strong character. Highwayman. So, let's see. Only a couple changes. Take the damage bonus off Slice. He already does enough damage. He doesn't need more damage. But if you did take the damage off Slice, now that I think about it, it would just make Open Vein superior. It's already the better of the two moves. So maybe increase the damage penalty to 25. Although it doesn't even make sense for that to have a damage penalty. Screw it, maybe get rid of Wicked Slice. New move, who knows? Grape Shot, usable from 4. Why is it not? Why is it not? Crimson Court set, best set in the game. Absolutely bonkers. So I would lower the Virtue chance to 20%, and I would increase the stress gain to 20%. So this way, it's still better than a Hero Ring to have this set. Like, by far. Way by far. And I think it's just too easy. He just pushes himself into 100 stress. He's already got 70% chance to Virtue at that point, just by base stats alone. You know, if you have quirks, then it's up and down by 5. Stupid. He just goes Virtuous by having this set. It's really ridiculous. So, I would like it if it wasn't... Like, this whole set is just upsides. It's just upsides, and they are incredibly powerful upsides. Accuracy and speed are the best stats in the game. You get both of those. Dodge is nice to have. You get crit. He's a damage dealer. He has crit all over the place. He gets more crit. And then he can Virtue, which is just powering himself up even further. It's dumb. He should not have this much power in 2 trinkets. And then the Gunpowder's okay. You can argue that this is too much damage and too much speed. And it kind of is. So maybe like 15% damage and 2 speed. But then it's not better than the Crescendo box at that point. So I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. Houndmaster, what do we have for you? Target Whistle down to 100 base. Because 170 at max. This is a built-in debuff amulet. Stupid. Nerf that. Cry Havoc. I would lower the stress heal by 1 and guarantee that it always sticks, because no one wants to have random stress healing. Like, that's just stupid. And Cry Havoc is pretty not reliable until level 5, and even then it's okay. The Guard Dog, I would increase another turn, because as it is now, it says 2 rounds, it's actually 1, because the moment you apply it, it wears off. So it needs to go up to an extra round after that. So the reason is probably because I keep dying. Like, I've lost 3 characters, 2 characters in Torchless. I almost lost 1 in the last video I made because I didn't guard. But it's not just the fact that I don't think about it. One of the times I actually did guard, and I forgot that it falls off like the next turn. It's dumb. So it should last an extra turn. And if you're worried about stacking dodge, lower this to like 5. Although it's not as good then, but, you know. You already stacked Prod on Man-at-Arms, and he gets up to like 80 for free, so why not? Why not? Let's see. Lick Wounds. Be nice if this cured status. Maybe cure debuff, you know, something different and interesting. Cure Bleed. I don't think you should cure Blight. That's a little weird, like Lick Wounds and cure Blight, but it's pretty underwhelming. I don't like this heal that much. I've talked about that, though. Husk Fang. The rest of his trinkets are pretty solid. These are amazing. Well, actually, the evidence is amazing. This is whatever. And this thing, I would just take the conditional off, because you want to use dog treats as this character. Lower this to maybe like 20% bonus bleed, and then take this off, because you want to use the dog treats. They clog up your inventory, and you need them for big fights. You don't want to hold on to the dog treats. That's really stupid. Let's see. Minus 10 dodge. I didn't even know it did that. This is so whack. This thing is so stupid. Like, it gives them an extra round of guard, which is nice, but why not just give that to him normally? Like, you're supposed to just guard and then spam stress heal. That's the purpose of this. I'm being harsh. I'm sorry. It's just not good. It seems poorly designed. Jester. I opened Discord. Jester. Dirk Stab. Why not Pierce Armor? That'd be nice. Ballad. I would lower the effectiveness to at rank 1 for 3 accuracy, 2 crit, 1 speed. And at rank 5, it would be... Let's see. 5 accuracy, 5 crit, and 3 speed. It's just too much value as it is now. And you don't have to take accuracy trinkets because of this character, in this move specifically. So it'd be nice if it was powered down a little bit. Or you can keep the stats as is and make it usable once a battle. But if you're going to keep it usable once a battle, you have to tune this down. You know, I don't want to use the word tune, but we have to. Probably take 2 points off the stress heal from all levels if you're going to make this once a battle. Because the argument I've made with Battle Ballad not being a one-use ability is that if you pop it once, you can just spam this the rest of the fight. That is a lot of value. So we have to nerf this if we decide to do something about that. Because something does have to happen with that move. And then, let's see, the set. Crimson Court set's interesting. It's not good. I thought Flagellants was the worst set in the game. This is probably the worst set, honestly. This is just bad. Because, like, why does it have so much stress? It has no virtue chance on top of it. It has stress healing, and then stress skills and camping. So that's a lot of stress healing, which is cool. But I wish that the finger, maybe this gets like 10 or 15% melee damage, and then the cup gets like 10% prot. So this way he's a little more tanky. You can throw him up in rank 1. He can just spam Dirk Stab until Finale's ready, and he can actually be a damage dealer in that regard. That'd be a fun playstyle. Just rank 1, spam Stab Jester. I'd play that. So those are my changes for Jester. The last one I would make is, where's this district? I would make the district cost 50 instead of 75, because it only affects 1 character. So, like, I don't want to spend 75 for 1 character to get 2 speed and 10 stress. That's basically what you're paying for. That's just not good. Leper. Leper's interesting because he's a character some people think is just trash, and then some people just swear by. But Leper... delicious water. He's pretty well balanced. Surprising. I'd only make 3 changes. The first is his crit buff should be 10% damage. Abomination gets 20, so Leper can get 10. Why not? If you're bringing Leper, you're going to fix his accuracy, so you're not worried about this. The other is Solemnity, usable from 3. So if he gets knocked back, he has something to do besides moving. And then the last change is the trinkets. I would take away this conditional. Bleeds are very common, so just give him... And the other thing too, you have like this negative synergy with the bleed resist. Just give him 10 accuracy. Why not? Why not give him 10 accuracy? 10 accuracy and what, 15 HP? It's not bad. The other reason I like the idea of Solemnity being usable in 3 is because you have Withstand in 3. So you'd have this weird mark draw aggro tank for Leper in rank 3. You can do it in rank 2 right now, but it'd be nice to do it in 3 as well. So that'd be a fun playstyle. Man-at-Arms. Let me change for Man-at-Arms. Take 1 sec. I'm actually gonna inhale some air and drink some water. You know, as I've been making videos, I looked up like breathing exercises to do while public speaking, and they're difficult, surprisingly. Public speaking much different than regular conversation. So for Man-at-Arms, I would up his damage back to 8 to 16. Just too much damage loss on this dude. It's where he's just like relegated to support, which kind of sucks. Oh, he needs a mark. It'd be nice if one of his skills marks somehow. Like, I don't know, if it could be Crush, it could be Retribution, it could mark on Riposte, that'd be nutty. But that's an idea. But it'd be nice if he had a mark, because he already has mark synergy, and it can't be Bellow. He can't mark the entire enemy team, that'd be just freaking ridiculous. So he needs some kind of mark. I don't know where you would swap it out, but it would be nice. Crush, I would like it if this pierced armor. It does in Circus, why not? That's a great idea. Let it do Armor Pen in vanilla. Bellow, I'd give it 5 more accuracy because it already has to make the accuracy check and the debuff check, so it'd be nice if it just had a little more consistency, because the thing you want to snipe with this is the backliners, because those are already fast and they're evasive. So you're just gambling on if you're going to hit them or not. It'd be nice if it was just more consistent in doing so. Even 10% more base debuff chance would be nice, but this move's already pretty powerful when it hits and sticks to all 4, so I understand. What else? Retribution. Usable from rank 4. This means you can do another playstyle of Man-at-Arms successfully, which is rank 4. He already has Guardian Shield, but when he's in Guardian Shield rank 4 mode, he just has like his buffs and guarding. That's all he gets to do. So it'd be nice if he could do his normal playstyle of using Retribution, Guard, and like some other thing each turn. And if he could do it in the back, that'd be very fun. Plus you already have Mark on yourself from Retribution, then you have Guardian Shield, which is a bunch of defensive stats. Why not? Just make him a huge tank in the back. Final change is weapons practice. Let's make this 5 crit and 100% chance to land. We already have 5 crit from tactics, so this could be 4. I don't care. But it'd be nice if it stuck and it wasn't random. I just don't like random camp skills like that. I understand why, but when you're camping, those points are pretty precious, so you would probably value the consistency. Musketeer, 1 change. Why? Make this 30% damage, and then like 10% chance to random target. This needs to be worth it if it misses, because it's very thematic for her character, because her whole thing is she missed like a tournament winning shot. So I understand that. But she's a sniper, she has to hit mark targets, so if you mark, put on the musket ball and miss, that is really, really dumb. I'm using that word again, but it's really just not, it's not good, it's not helpful. And why does it cost 150? This should cost like 70. If it's gonna stay like this, it should be at least 70. Actually, at most 70, excuse me. Occultist. Sack Stab, 5 extra accuracy. It's very inconsistent. People talk about Leper missing. Occultist misses way more often with this move. Let's see, what else? Roost Spaghetti. Lower the damage mod to 15% for a penalty, because it would be nice if this was positive damage at max rank. You know, it's like the Eldritch Cleave killing ability. It's not that good as is. His base damage is so bad that who cares how strong, or like if this is like 1 or 2 points stronger. I don't think it really matters. The heal I would actually not change. I think it's completely fine as is. The rest of the stuff's actually really good. The trinkets are also pretty good, except this one. Small change. I would up this to 40 prot against Eldritch. if we're going to keep the healing debuff penalty. This would just be really fun, because you can go into the Cove and other areas. You know what, I said spoiler warning, screw it. So if you go into the end game, where Eldritch is all over the place, it'd be really nice to consistently be able to rely on frontline Occultist. So if he gets hit, he's taking like almost half damage. That'd be freaking nice. Might be overpowered too. You probably have to up the cost to like 50 at that point. Plague Doctor. First big change. Give her 10 dodge base and just increase all this by 10. So what I heard, pretty sure this is accurate too, is that when Color of Madness came out, since she got this that has just 20 dodge, they assumed you would buy this, but not everyone buys the DLC, so you just nerf PD for no reason. So lower this to 10 dodge, give her 10 dodge back baseline, and then probably take away this conditional thing. I'm going to say this now too, I think every single conditional Farmstead trinket should just lose the conditional effect. I think they're just really not fun to play with. But it'd be nice if she had 10 more dodge. Any other changes? Incision. Incision up the bleed by 1 point. It's pretty strong as is, but it needs the trinket to really be devastating. I shouldn't say devastating, just it needs the trinket to be worthwhile. So I'd rather Incision be stronger enough on its own, because PD's already a very trinket reliant character. Early game, it's nice if she has one of these, so she always hits or stuns. She needs this for Incision. She needs this just overall. This is an amazing trinket. And her entire stats now are based around her needing this. So it'd be nice if this character wasn't as dependent on gear as she currently is. Shieldbreaker. Oh, Shieldbreaker. Oh, pay to win breaker. Game breaker. There you go. Pierce. Usable from rank 1 and 2 only, not from rank 3. Don't let it hit rank 4. Puncture. Take out the speed debuff. Impale, lower the damage penalty or increase it to 75, and give it Blight at level 1, so it goes 1, 2, 3 for Blight. So it's the Blight copy of Hound's Rush, and it has the conditional necessity of being rank 1. So you can probably keep the damage bonus as is, since it's only rank 1, but it would be nice if this move did Blight out the gate, because I've gotten more than one comment in my videos where people say, I didn't know Impale blighted. I thought it just sucked. Let it blight. Why not? Expose. Let it hit rank 4. Please. Please let it hit rank 4. Trinkets. Foot wraps. These are pretty fun. I like that it's 2 speed. I thought about changing this, but I don't know what I would change here. But yeah, so the foot wraps, why not give it move skill chance? Like 20% move skill chance instead of the move resist, or even both, just to give like puncture some synergy. There is not enough movement synergy in this game. Everything else like is move resist, but you don't get a lot of move chance outside of like move amulet and 1 or 2 other trinkets. So it'd be nice if something else did it. Fang spear tip, just make this 25%, get rid of this. Because as it is, to take this, you have to mark every single turn on a character that gets up to, I think, 9 speed. So she's faster than your markers. Why? You know, you spend the first turn doing what? Sway? That's such a bad tempo opener. The rest of her stuff's fine. Oh, spear tip. So I think spear tip is 2 words. It's 1 word here, and then 2 words here. Let's fix the typo. Vestal. Is that it for Shieldbreaker? Yes. Vestal. Give Bonk 5% base crit, because Vestal's big weakness as a damage dealer is she has no crit. Her accuracies are mediocre, but she has Handle Light to fix that. Her base damage is bad. She can fix that with Handle Light again. She has no crit. So just give her crit on this one move. It's not going to break the game. Then Illumination. Let it be usable for rank 4, and then lower the damage penalty to 50. Just give her a reason to use it. The reason this move is really bad to me is because she's already not a fast character, and if you want to take stealth off like a pink fish, for instance, it's going to go first. So it goes first, it's already 1 turn of stealth gone, the rest of your team goes because Vestal's pretty slow, and then unless you have like Hellion, for instance, and then it's like a tie to see who goes first. And then you use Illumination at the end of the turn instead of stunning, and then start of turn 2, Pink Fish, 12 speed, goes before you anyway, loses stealth. Didn't matter that you used Illumination at all. There's just no application for this move that's like justified, because it's better to just open with stun. It needs some other reason to be pressed, and it doesn't have it right now. Let's see, Divine Comfort. Oh, I said 5 accuracy on this too. Why not? Just give it accuracy. Just let it hit stuff. Divine Comfort, take off 1 healing from the, what is it, the top end? Because it's too strong. It's just too strong as a heal. Because when you get to rank 5, so if you see here, this is almost double in effectiveness, but once you get to rank 5 and you have healing trinkets, you almost don't need to press this. Unless someone gets like crit to Death Door and no one else needs a heal. You actually get more effective healing out of Divine Comfort, and I forgot to make this a top 10 skill in my tier list, so I apologize about that. It definitely should have been, because this move is stupid. Once it gets to rank 5 and you have trinkets, you just heal this, and this is so much more value than Divine Grace. It out heals it by so much. If it hits 2 targets, it's more. Like, it's mathematically already more just by hitting 2 targets. It hits 3, it blows this away. So this needs to be weaker, probably by like 1 point. So it'd be like 1 to 2, 2 to 2, 3 to 4, 4 to 4, 4 to 5, something like that. That's still 4 to 5. So what, 4 to 4? I don't know. Some math wizard can do it. I'm not a game designer. I'm sitting here trying to balance a game. Who the heck knows? Or give her base crit in her kit instead of up here. That'd be nice too. Alright, is that it for this? Okay. So general mechanics changes. Marks have 200 accuracy. They shouldn't be missing. They have 3 charges. You lose 1 charge every time they get hit with a mark move. Or no, at the start of the turn. So there's already coding in the game for this, because the Taskmaster enemy can do something at the start of the turn without having an action spent. So that means, I think the Flesh too, because the Flesh shifts through all of its forms at the start of the turn. So why not have Mark just tick down at the start of the turn? There's already the framework in there, I would imagine. Next, give someone a Stumble Dot, much like Countess. That'd be very fun. Next, after that, give someone a debuff cure. There's no way to cure debuffs besides medicinal herbs. Give someone a debuff cure. Final mechanics change. Give corpses to the player. So if I have someone die on my side of the field, please leave a corpse for the rest of the battle, or have it have the same rules as the enemies where they have to kill the corpses. Because as it is right now, in Darkest Dungeon, there's the concept of Death Spiral, and Death Spiral means that once you lose someone, it just gets exponentially harder the more you lose people. And that's not as true for the enemy, because the enemy operates pretty independently, except for like Mark Synergy, and they get corpses. So if you kill enemy frontliners, their backliners don't get screwed because they're corpses. The enemy kills your frontliners, you're screwed because you have no corpses, and your backliners just come up and compound the Death Spiral. So it's almost better to lose a rank 4 before a rank 1, which is very surprising. Sorry, I went off on a tangent, so I'm just going to stop myself there. We're going to talk about the regions and enemies now, but also I forgot this one change. Flagellant, when he dies, give that stun 200% chance. Do it. Just freaking do it. For the same reason. The Death Spiral. You're already losing Flag. He's a very powerful character. Let him stun everything on his way out. Why not? So for regions, let's see. We're going to look at enemies. So again, spoilers. You will start seeing bosses and endgame enemies. So I apologize about that. But, yeah. I figured if you want to see changes, you've already played the game, so you know what's up. In general, for enemies, their cleaves need to be weaker. They either have to have lower crit or no crit. And the reason for this is all of the players' cleave abilities are weak. Like, they have some good upsides that you can manipulate. So they have, like, crits received on Grape Shot or damage over time on Impale, for instance. But, like, you look at Breakthrough, you get to move, but you lower your stats. Other cleave moves just have weaker damage. They all have, like, negative crit for the most part starting out. Enemy cleaves, really freaking strong. I don't understand why. You almost don't want them to cleave in most cases. So, it'd be nice if, like, all enemy cleaves just lost damage. Not damage, but, like, lost crit. Like, 5% crit just across the board. Maybe, like, 1 or 2 points of damage. That's just my... Oh, yeah, lower the accuracy, too. All the players' cleaves in terms of accuracy, usually pretty low. Look at Grape Shot. So we need to lower the enemy cleave effectiveness, because you look at Big Bandit, cleave is stupid. You look at Gunner Bandit, cleaves all the time. Stress cleave. Warrens, we'll talk about that. So let's just slow down here. We need more enemies that are vulnerable to getting moved, because right now there are a few. Like Cultist Brawler loses to movement. The bandits don't do too well with movement. Madman doesn't care. Green Spider loses spit, which is nice. But a lot of enemies just don't care when they get moved. That's kind of the reason I like the Ruins. The Ruins is pretty honest. You move people in the Ruins, it does something. You move enemies in the Warrens, they don't care. You move enemies in the Weald, they don't care. You move enemies in the Cove, only the Shaman cares. So it's really stupid. And I try not to say it like that, but it doesn't feel fun as the player, because movement is devastating against you, but it is not devastating against the enemy. We have no move that can move the entire enemy team like Confusion Spores or Sway With Me. We only have things that can move like one person at a time, and depending on where they get moved, sometimes it just doesn't matter at all. So it would be nice if movement just did more. Like the Warrens, the Weald, and Crimson Court, pretty much movement immune. What's up with that? Alright, now that rant's over, we'll start with Big Bandit. No stress on the cleave, please. The Rain of Whips, that's just dumb. Let's just get rid of that, because it's already a powerful move. You're already bleeding my entire team for, I mean, it's 1 damage, but you're already bleeding my entire team. Look at this. His crit chance is 0, which is nice, but you're going to see, I think it goes up. Yeah, to 7, which is respectable. But other cleaves do have crit, which is not fun. It already bleeds you. It's just too powerful. Oh, he loses it when he gets moved back. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Let's see. So, stress on that gone, please. Who's next? Madman. No more of this. Like, 2 things. His accuracies are through the roof. Have you ever seen his accuracies? Big Bandit was at... what you call it? Big Bandit was at 82 or something like that. At Apprentice, he's at 100. He's gonna hit you. It's so stupid. So getting rid of that would be nice, like lowering it by 10%. Taking the damage off Accusation. Let's take the damage off. And this debuff, this needs to go away. This is just bad. This is just really, really bad and not fun. Because not only are you not carrying Laudanum, because you only see this dude like once every 4 dungeons, you're also not taking too many medicinal herbs unless you're in certain areas that need a bunch of them, because you're just not planning to run into this guy specifically. You're not planning to use medicinal herbs to cure the -10 dodge that someone gives you. You need it to cure this crap. And if you've already camped, you're just stuck with this. Like, it's very thematic that it sticks like that, but it's already a bunch of stress and it just compounds with that. Not fun. Who's next? Ghouls. Where are the ghouls? Ghoul, give him 30 prot instead of 40. That should fix some issues. Sycophant. Sycophant gets a speed debuff if it uses the Thirst a second time. It should just get this when it uses the Thirst the first time. That'd be a little more fair. Collector. I think I've said this before. I would like it if Collector just always summoned one of each head. Because really the fight is just dependent on how many Highwaymen he gets. If he gets 2 Highwaymen, much harder fight than if he gets 1. Just give him 1 of each. It's fun to fight all 3 of these at the same time. Just give him 1 of each. He already loses all of them when he dies anyway. Thing from the stars. Lower the speed that he gets. Like, why does he get a speed boost when he gets low? Is this just... He gets 6 speed at Apprentice? Excuse me? Excuse me, dude? Just get rid of this. It doesn't need that. And look at this. It gets so much. Like, lower this threshold. Or get rid of this specifically. Because once he gets the speed boost, you need armor pen more than anything else. Like, you can beat him with Mark. You can hit him with a dot that gets 1 tick. I'd rather he just loses the speed so all the other strategies are still effective. And maybe lower the prod. It's not fun. Fnatic, I actually don't know this fight well enough. I've only fought Fnatic like 3 times. So I don't know the fight well enough to say what needs to change, but it is a very challenging fight. The ruins, I made this joke in Discord. I sat down to write this section. I could not see a single thing I would change. The ruins is amazing. Very, very well designed zone. Warrens. Butcher Pig. Let me show you this. Have you seen this? Have you seen this at Have you seen this at Champion? Why? Why? -5. -5. Just stop. Maybe lower his HP too. What's he get? 26? HP's fine. But definitely lower that crit. That's way too much. That's too much for that enemy. Because he has so much prot and HP that he sticks around forever. Probably lower his HP at max level. Scale his prot down a little bit. Look at this jump! I never noticed this. 15? Okay. 33, 33. No. Let's cap it at like 25. Too much. Drummer Pig. This move should not have crit chance. Just straight up. We need to make cleaves weaker. This should not do damage. This should not crit. It should not have both of those. It's too ridiculous. Again, normally, cleaves should be threatening just the fact they hit multiple people. But cleaves oftentimes are stronger than the other moves. I just don't like that. Large Carrion Eater. I like something in its AI where it cannot use this unless someone is marked. Because sometimes this enemy can just spam Devour, and that's all it does. It never does this move. It just hits us 3 times, and it crit fishes, and it'll hit you for like 24 or something like that. At Veteran, is that 24? It's about 22. And then here, it's 30. Why? Like, it can just ignore the setup and just spam this. It's ridiculous. It's got 19 crit at Champion, dude. Not okay. Not okay. So it'd be nice if he either couldn't use it until there was a mark, or if the damage needs to be lowered. If he can use this without having a mark set, then the damage should be like -3, so like 4 to 12, and then 7 to 17. That'd be a little more fair. And then if you really want to, you can buff the mark damage on top of it to like 120%. So that way it's still threatening if marked, but there's counterplay. If he decides to spam this, there's no counterplay. It's not fun. It's not fun. I mean, I'm going to say it like that instead of calling it, you know, the other thing I've been saying. Skyver. 2 changes. Cripple them, lower the damage to about 4 to 10. Is that what I have? Yeah, 4 to 10. This move's already like capable of 60 damage. And that is not an understatement. This move crits once or twice. It is capable of 60 damage to your party. Why? And it has this nasty debuff attached to it too. So it'd be nice if the on hit was a little weaker. Maybe lower the crit. The crit on this is insane too. This should probably be like 17, not 21. And then take the prot off this enemy. The later game enemies that Red Hook introduced, they just start like sliding prot into stuff. So the elite enemies, the Courtyard, Color of Madness, they're just like, we're going to slip some prot in to where it probably shouldn't belong. And it does not belong on Skyver. I'm not going to change the bosses for the base game. I think the bosses are pretty well designed overall. I like them quite a bit. So we're out of the Warrens. Slimes, please let these drop loot. The summon ones don't have to drop loot because that's why they can't drop loot, is because they don't want you to just farm 1,000 of these and just get an inventory full of gold. I understand that. But fighting 4 of these that summon 3 more and actually do something to you and you get nothing for it. I think same with maggots. I don't think maggots drop loot too. So let these drop stuff, please. Please let them drop stuff. The other thing I would change also is I would make it so Cytokinesis and the summon, the Profusion here, I would give these cooldowns to where they can only use these every 2 turns. And the cooldown coding already exists. Not only have modders figured out how to do it, but also the finger from the Cultist Priest has a cooldown built into it. So give it to this. Give these a 2-turn cooldown on summoning, so you at least have a chance to get rid of them before they start summoning stuff. Because like, if I don't want to kill them first in a battle where they're not the only enemy and leave them up, that means I kill other stuff on like turns 1 and 2. They summon. that makes some interesting battle decisions. But as it is now, they're not interesting. They're just obnoxious. Big Slime probably takes some prod off it. This thing just hangs around like it's guaranteed to summon, which is a little dangerous. I don't like that. I don't know if it drops loot or not. It'd be nice if it did. Who else? Artillery. Why does this move disease? My voice cracked a little bit, but why does this move disease? Please take this off. Please. Please. It just doesn't need it. It really doesn't need it. It's an interesting thought to realize that the Weald is capable of causing more disease to the player than the Warrens. The sewers that are infested with slimy pigs and poop and rotten meat cause less disease than the mushroom forest. Thank you, Vogan, for that analogy. So I really don't appreciate this. It's not just rabies. It's these things, and it's the crone. The crone also diseases you. Let's stop that. Let's stop that. Virgo doesn't disease you, thankfully. Giant, one of my most hated enemies. You would think I would just eviscerate Giant as a unit and take away a bunch of its stuff, but I would... What would I do here? So, Confusion Spores, get rid of the crit and the on-hit damage. Like, why does it have these? It just doesn't make sense. Shuffle Party. So, if this hits one person, it shuffles the entire party. No. 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 This should just be movement. It should be shuffle single, like Flashbang. That's what it should be, but it's not. So it's really silly, I was about to say stupid, but it's really silly to see this miss 3 people, hit Leper or something, flip the entire party around for free. No. Also give it a cooldown. Give it like a 3-turn cooldown. I'd rather he tree branches like 2 times before hitting me with this. The other thing too is... make it so it can't use Tree Branch in rank 3 and 4. I guess it kind of makes sense because it's such a long weapon and he's a big unit. Giggity. But this is what I've been saying. A lot of enemies don't care about getting moved. So Swine Chopper doesn't care, Slasher doesn't care, Wretch doesn't care, Drummer doesn't care. These don't care. Yeah, these don't care either. Swine's Heart doesn't care. Skyver ironically cares a little bit. The Weald doesn't care, doesn't care, doesn't care. These care. These get more dangerous in the front, which is surprising, and then Crone becomes kind of a jerk in the front. And then these don't care. There's so many enemies that don't care about getting moved, and I would like it if something suffered from getting moved out of position in these areas. The Pounder, lower its HP. Just give it a flat, like, 20% cut. This fight is so long. You have to do like 300 damage in that fight, depending on how many times you have to kill Matchman and the other bandits. It's too much. I'm not a fan. Cove. Only 2 changes. The Pelagic Shaman. It's kind of bugged out there. I see. Okay. Wonder if the website's starting to crash on me. Who knows? But I would like it if Stress Wave... Maybe they updated it. I don't know. But Stress Wave... let it always hit 2. That'd be nice. Can this crit? No, it can't crit, so they knew what to do. But yeah, let it always hit 2, and then lower the stress to like 12. That'd be fun. It'd be nice if there's like... You know, I sat there and railed on stress cleaves, but make this a little bit weaker, but always guaranteed to hit 2. That's just more fun to play against. Because there are too many things that do like big single target stress. As well. Deep Stinger, lower their stun resist by 10. They're pretty hard to stun. And it's weird. These enemies, again, disease. 2 diseases. These enemies should not be as dangerous as they are. Actually, the Cove does more disease than the Warrens. The Warrens only has 1 enemy that can disease you, and that is this thing. This has 3 units that can disease you. This has 2. What? And this has 2 abilities, so that's arguably 3. Why? It'd be nicer if the stun resist was lower on this, just because it gets up to 90, which is like high. 95, what is that? No! I think it's 90, unless that's an error in the tooltip where it says 95. Like it says 90 in the game, but that's 95. Anyway, the rest of it's pretty solid, I think. Quartz. Oh, so for Vvulf, I would like it if the barrel of bombs had like 100 HP, but it didn't respawn. Because it already riposts you, and it would be fun to go for the strategy of destroying the barrel with a bunch of on-hit damage, because you can't use status, and then just taking away his bombs. Why not? Why not? That'd be cool. It's just a different way to do this fight. I like different ways to do stuff. You don't even have to give Vvulf another move. I thought about doing that, but at that point, you've already taken a bunch of damage from the barrel exploding, and since it's so tanky, at 100 HP with no status effects, then he's alive throwing more bombs at you. Like, there's already no point to killing the barrel. And then just changing this, still there's really no point to killing the barrel, but you can do it. And then he summons his bandits and he uses his other stuff. That's fine. That's fine. Courtyard. Courtesan and Esquire. Give them like 5 more HP. Just make it so they stick around longer, because they die pretty easily. There's Apprentice Esquire. Okay, yeah, there's Apprentice Esquire. Yeah, just give it like 5 more HP. Why not? Both of these, just let them stick around longer. Courtesan is a really fun enemy in terms of her... Wait, is there Apprentice Esquire? I can't remember Apprentice Esquire. Because there's no Apprentice... what is it? Courtesan. Yeah, just give her 5 more HP. She has really interesting moves, and she just doesn't live long enough to do them. So, look at this huge list of moves that she can do. And then she just dies first to 2 hits. I don't know. Crocodilian, make it so Apex, I believe. Is it Apex? Yeah. Make it so Apex is just, it hits 2. Like, don't let it hit 3 things or whatever. Look at this. At Champion, it hits 2. Veteran, it hits 2 as well. Like, just take this away. It's 1. Just let it hit 1 extra thing. Don't let it hit 3. That's so ridiculous. I don't understand why. I mean, I understand why in the sense that's like, it's challenge, shuffle. Sure. Bosses are all pretty cool. I leave them. I leave them as is. Except Guardian. Delete this. There's no saving this enemy. Delete it from the game. Farmstead. Farmhand, I would like it if the... Sow the seeds. Why is this 10 stress? This should be like 5. It does too much. It's 15 here. It's just take 5. Just take 5 off. It's already too much. Horse, delete from the game. Horse, the dumb enemy. Again, it scrambles your party. Like, why? Then Sleeper. Sleeper would be fun if it had 2 more moves, because it's just a cleave bot right now. Fracture is the more interesting part of the fight. Sleeper is just silly. So give Sleeper the... or 2 extra moves. Give it something like the Sleeper Sleeps, and it heals for like 25 HP. Why not? That still gives it the attrition aspect because it can heal itself. It's kind of thematic that it sleeps and recovers. And then give it another move that just doesn't cleave. Just give it like a single target bleed or something like that. Just give it something else to do that gets away from its cleaves, because its cleaves are also very strong. Is this 5 points normally? What? What? Oh my goodness. Ridiculous. Look at this accuracy. So... No. 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 Oops. Enemies. We're still on enemies. All of these Darkest Dungeon enemies. And only one change. Can you guess what that change is? It's Ascended Brawler. Why does this do 6? That takes away from the Cultist Priest, who also does 6 and is a very cool enemy. Instead, this Rehash is also doing 6. It should do 4. It should do 4. Okay, I think that's it. Nice. What'd we do? Hour and 7 minutes with a couple breaks. Nice. Alright, y'all. Thanks for watching. That was fun. I'm glad it's done. Easier than I thought it was going to be in terms of just the recording process, because I just basically went on a rant. And not bad. So next up, I'm going to do a video talking about what I want to see in Darkest Dungeon 2 at some point, probably in the next couple weeks. So this is kind of like the primer to that. And we're going to do the Antiquarian guide soon. I'm probably going to record more of it on Saturday. I'm halfway through it, and I just haven't had a chance to record the rest. I've had, errands and adult stuff to do. So we're solved for right now. I think we're in a decent place. As always, join Discord if you want to come hang out. Support on Patreon if you like what you're seeing. Follow me on Twitch. I stream 4 days a week, and 3 of those days minimum are Darkest Dungeon right now. And otherwise, you're beautiful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.